guys, welcome back again to the channel. Today we are going to make a bustier blouse, Madam blouse or Igbo blouse with shoulder. So if you are interested, continue watching and make sure you watch to the end so you won't miss out of any important information. So guys, with that being said, let's get started. To make the blouse, I have my lace material here, and for that blouse you need like 1.5 yards, and I have my satin material, that is lace lining here, and what I have here is 1 yard. I'll be drafting on this pattern paper so that everybody will see it very well. So guys, please go ahead and give this video a thumbs up so that others can see and watch. Thank you so much. And if you are new, welcome. I'm Chisom Ene. Do well to subscribe to join the family and turn on your notification bell for more videos. Thank you so much. So guys, I'm going to start by marking out my starting point as usual. This is my starting point line. From there, I'll take my vertical measurement. That is the measurement from shoulder downwards. From shoulder to the bust point is 10. Shoulder to the under bust 13. And shoulder to the waist 18. Shoulder to the hip measurement is 25. I'll be adding 1 inch for hemming allowance. So I'm going to rule out the lines. But before I rule out the lines, I'm going to add shoulder to the neckline, which will guide us to create our bustier. Shoulder to the neckline, standard neckline, 6 inches. It doesn't mean that your neckline must be 6 inches. This is just a standard neckline measurement. When you want to add your neckline, you can either go up or go down. Do you understand? So I'll rule out my lines now. Please pay attention. At the end of this tutorial, I expect you to make a blouse for yourself. So guys, I'm going to label the lines. This is my neckline. I have my bust point here, under bust, waist and hip line. These are the vertical measurements. So having done that, I'm going to draft my bustier before we continue. So the next thing I'm going to do is to come on this line and measure my bust span. Bust span is the distance from one bust to the other. That is the nipple to nipple point measurement. Go ahead and take the measurement to be sure. So for this person, her bust span is 7 inches. 7 divided by 2 will give us 3.5. I'll be adding ½ inch for sewing allowance, making it 4. So I'll be making use of 4 inches for my bust span, and I'm going to measure it on all these vertical lines. So guys, this is 4.5 inches, 4 inches, and all through 4 inches. The only difference is here, 4.5 inches. So this is because I don't want the line to be completely straight. It's optional though. If you want, maintain the same 4 inches. But for Madam blouse, at this point, you can make it a little wider to get it a perfect shape. So that's why I increased here by ½ inch, 4.5 instead of 4. So go ahead and do exactly what you want. Feel free to do what you want. So guys, what I'll do now is to connect from this under bust to this point. So can you see, this is 4 inches here. It has a little space here. Do you understand? So with this shape, this part, the front part is not going to be completely straight up. This is how I like it for my blouse. Do you understand? So if you still don't want, go ahead and connect straight. All right? So having done that, I'm going to connect straight up to the shoulder line. So having gotten my bust pan line, the next step is to create the bustier now. So to create the bustier, the first thing I will do is to come to the under bust here, under bust line, and create my darts. I'm going to take 1 inch on both sides, 1 inch this side and 1 inch this side, making it 2 inches. If you have big size, take 1.5 inches this side and 1 inch this side if you have a bigger bust. So I'm going to mark 1 inch here and 1 inch here. Can you see? So after that, the next step is to connect from this 1 inch here to this point with a straight line. This is what I have now. And from here, I'm going to draw a straight line down like this. So if you are making this blouse for someone that has a bigger tummy, instead of drawing this straight line, you connect like this. Do you understand? So that it will form a dart. I hope you are following. So guys, this is it for this side. So to create my dart at the neckline, I'm going to take it 1/2 inch on this center line, this side 1/2 inch, and here 1.5 inches, making it 2 inches. Do you get 1.5 1/2 inch? The reason is because I don't want my neckline small. Like I said, if you don't want this 1/2 inch here, you can make your own 1 inch. It's just entirely your choice. So I'm going to measure 1/2 inch here and 1.5 inches here. So altogether I have 2 inches, just like here. Having done that, I'm going to draw again my dart tail towards the shoulder line, like so. And here I'll draw my dart tail upwards. So this is what I have now. We have 2 dart tails. The next step is to create the bustier here, because this is where the bust is, the position of the bust. So we are going to create the bustier now. And to do that, I'll just come to the center, which is the bust point, and connect from the bust point to here with a curve, connect with a curve. I'll do that right away. So this is our bustier now. The next step is to add my shoulder measurement. So on the shoulder line, I'll measure out my shoulder measurement. My shoulder measurement is 16 divided by 2, 8. Then I mark 8 inches. Then I'm going to measure what I have here and transfer it over to this point with extra 1 inch allowance, making it 3 inches. 2 inches plus extra 1 inch, making it 3 inches. So I'm going to mark 3 inches here. Can you see? The extra 1 inch will serve as the joining allowance to join this and this at this side. Do you understand? So I have 3 inches here. On that point, I'll slope the shoulder by 1 inch and connect like so. Then I'll slope the shoulder like this. Now this is the shoulder line. The next step is to create my armhole curve. I'll measure my armhole depth, which is 8. To get your armhole depth, measure your round armhole and divide by 2, or bust measurement divide by 6 plus 1.5 will give you your armhole depth. So having gotten the armhole depth, I'll make a straight line there, like so. Now we are going to create our armhole curve. To do that, I'm going to come to the armhole depth here and measure my bust circumference. The bust circumference I'm working with is 37. 37 divided by 4 will give us 9.25. 9.25. So I'm going to measure 9.25 here. So from this point, this bust measurement, I'm going to add these 3 inches that I have here at the shoulder line. Remember how we got these 3 inches? I'm going to add it here, 3 inches, which will put me here. So this is the 3 inches. I'm going to connect like this. And we are going to create the armhole curve now. To do that, I'll take the midpoint of the armhole depth, which is 4. 8 divided by 2, 4. And I'll go in by half an inch and create my armhole curve for the front side. So this is the front armhole. I'm going to bring it down to the bust point line like this. Do you understand? So coming to the under bust, we are adding our circumference measurement now. My under bust, the under bust I'm working with is 34. Divided by 4 is 8.5. This is my 8.5 here. I'll add this dart measurement, which is 2 inches, and connect. So coming to the waistline, waist measurement is 35. Divided by 4 is 8.75. I'm going to measure what I have here, which is 1.5, and transfer it here and connect. And then again, coming to the hip line, the hip measurement I'm working with is 44.5. 44.5 divided by 4 will give us 11.25. Plus what I have here is half inch, plus half inch here. So I'm going to connect this half inch to the waistline. So this is what I have. Then the next step is to add my sewing allowance. I'll add 2 inches sewing allowance. For blouse, you need to add enough sewing allowance. So the next step is to curve this part because I don't want it straight up. To do that, I'll come here and measure 1.5 inches upwards. And I'm going to connect like this. And extend it to the sewing allowance like this. So this is what I have. Then we are going to add the neckline now. For my neckline, I'll be making use of a sweetheart neckline, sweetheart neck shape. So the neck width I'll be working with is 3.5. Before then, I'm going to shade this to avoid confusion. I'm going to measure what I have from here to here, and I have 3.5 inches. Do you understand? And my neck width is going to be 3.5 inches. It's not constant, it's not fixed. You can make use of any neck width of your choice. 4 inches, 4.5, or even 3. So just do as you want. I'll be making use of 3.5 inches. So from here to here is 3.5. Can you see? So what it means is that we need 3 inches here. We need 3 inches here as the neck width, and the half inch there will serve as the joining allowance, joining this to this. Do you understand? So we have 3 inches here. So what I will do is to come here and add the remaining half inch here. Can you see? So that it will complete my neck width. Remember, we are jumping this dart. It's not part of what we are doing because I'll cut it out eventually. So I have half inch here and 3 inches here, making it 3.5 inches for my neck width. I hope you are following. So as for neck depth, you can decide to make use of this 6 inches here, or you make use of any neck depth of your choice. So for me, my neck depth is going to be 6 inches because that's what the person wants. You can go lower or higher depending on what you want. So I'll come here and measure 5 inches as my neck depth. Remember, I said my neck depth is going to be 6 inches. I'm measuring 5 inches because I'm making a sweetheart neckline. This line represents my 6 inches neck depth, as you can see, and I measure 5 inches here. What it simply means is that I'm going to draw my curve to this line to complete my neck depth, which is 6 inches. I hope you understand it now. So I've marked my 5 inches. I'll draw a straight line to connect the point. So this is what I have as my neck depth. So I'll draw a straight line there, like this, from here to here, a straight line, and I'll come to this point again and measure 5 inches. This is 5 inches here, and from there I'll draw my sweetheart shape. So this is my sweetheart shape. Alright, so if you are making a 4-corner neckline, just draw a straight line to meet this neck depth, which is 6 inches, and that is all. Except you want it higher. If you want it higher, you will make your neck depth 5 inches, and then you draw a straight line. Do you understand? So, and if you want your sweetheart shape to be deeper than this, all you need to do is to come here. You know, this is 6 inches neckline. You come here and measure 1 inch, making it 7 inches, and draw your sweetheart shape like this. Can you see what I have? Do exactly what you want. Do you understand? So you can make your sweetheart to be as deep as this, or leave it like this. I'll be making use of this because that is what my customer wants. Do you understand? So if you want it deep, go ahead and do it. If you want it like this, it's okay, it's fine. So this is it for the neckline. If you understand it, let me know what you think in the comment section, and go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. If you still have any question, go ahead and leave it in the comment section as well. I will attend to it. So at this point, I'm going to cut it out while we draft the back part. So guys, before cutting out the bodies, I'm going to add my joining allowance, shoulder joining allowance of half inch. Half inch, very, very important. If you don't do that, it will affect your bust point position. So don't forget this. You can add it now or add it when you are cutting on your fabric. So I'll cut it out now. So guys, this is what we have. So by the time we join this to this, see the shape of the sweetheart to come out very well. Can you see? So yeah, we're going to cut the back side now. So guys, for the back side, I'm going to mark out my starting point as well. The next step is to add my vertical measurement. From shoulder to the bust point is 10. No under bust. From shoulder to the waist 18. And shoulder to the hip line 25, plus 1 inch for hemming 26. So guys, I have my bust point, my waistline and the hip line. So I haven't gotten the vertical measurement. The next step is to draft my zipper allowance. My zipper allowance is going to be 2 inches. 2 inches. So I'm going to measure 2 inches for zipper allowance. 2 inches. And on the waistline, I'm going to measure 2.5 inches instead of 2 inches. So for my zipper allowance, I have 2 inches, 2 inches, 2.5 and 2 inches. The half inch extra here is to remove the zip bulge at the back side. So I'm going to remove that half inch here at this point. I'll measure half inch, and yeah, this is half inch. So I'll connect the lines. So this is what I have. I'm going to trim that point out because we don't need it. If you don't do this, your zipper at the back side may not relax very well. So it's very important to remove this half inch at the waistline. Okay, so having done that, I'm going to add my shoulder measurement. My shoulder measurement is 16 divided by 2, 8. My neck width is 3.5. I'll slop the shoulder by 1 and connect to the neck width. So my armhole depth is 8. For armhole curve, I'll come to the armhole depth and add my bust circumference. The bust circumference I'm working with is 37. Divided by 4 is 9.25, which is here. So for the back armhole, I'm going to connect like this. So this is my back armhole. So I'm going to create my dart now. To create my dart, I'll come to the waistline, which is here, and measure my bust span, which is 4 inches. 4 inches, remember? So from there, I'm going to draw a straight line. I'll be making use of a shoulder dart for the back side. So to create my shoulder dart, I'll take the midpoint of from here to here, and what I have here is 4.5 divided by 2 will give us 2.25, which is here, 2.25. So I'll take this line to that point. So this is what I have. The next step is to create my dart here. I'll come to the waistline and I'll measure half inch on both sides, half inch here and half inch here, and draw my dart. So this is the dart. So guys, having gotten the dart, the next step is to add my sewing allowance. Because of the shoulder dart, I need 1 inch for sewing allowance to join, because I'm going to cut this place, and we need half inch to join this side and this side. So we need extra 1 inch for joining this side and this side together. So for that, I'll add 1 inch here, 1 inch, and extend the line to that point. Can you see? So I'm going to redraw my armhole curve. I'll redraw my armhole now. So this is my new armhole. I'll measure what I have here, which is 1 inch. I'll transfer it here. And create my curve again. So I'm going to cancel this one. We don't need it anymore. if you don't do this, after joining this and this, your shoulder will reduce. Instead of 8, we'll have like maybe 7 inches. So it's important to add this extra 1 inch. Take note, please. I'll be adding my circumference measurement now. So the bust I'm working with is 37 divided by 4, 9.25. I'm going to add this 1 inch here. I'll be adding this 1 inch here, there, plus 2 inches sewing allowance. I'll take it to the armhole, like so. Can you see what I did? So this is for the bust. Coming to the waist measurement I'm working with is 35 divided by 4 is 8.75. I'll replace this dart 1 inch plus 2 inches sewing allowance. You can add more sewing allowance if you like. And yeah, to the hip line, my hip measurement is 44.5, which is 11 divided by 4, 11.25, plus 2 inches sewing allowance. So at this hip line, I would like to add 2.5 inches. And yeah, I'll connect like this. It's optional though. There's nothing, just that I want it a bit freer there. Coming here, I'm going to measure 1.5 inches to curve this part, and I'll draw my curve. So the next step is to add my neckline. So for the back side, I'll be making use of 2 inches neck depth, which is high neck. High neck. If you don't want this high neck, just feel free to add the neckline of your choice. So this is it for the back side, and the next thing is to add my shoulder allowance here, 1/2 inch shoulder allowance. This is to join the back and front, be the front and back together. So this is it. By the time you join this to this, we are going to take away like 1/2 inch. That is 1/2 inch this side and 1/2 inch this side, making it 1 inch. So by the time you join it, the shoulder will come back to the normal shoulder. Do you understand? And that's the reason why we added this extra 1 inch here. So this is it for the back side. You can see the shape. By the time you pick your dart and sew your zipper in a curvy shape like this, the back side will relax perfectly okay. So guys, that is it. So this is the back side and this is the front side. So the next step is to cut on the material. I'll cut on this satin and cut on the lace as well. So we are going to be doing the cutting in our next tutorial. That is the sewing part of it. So this is it for the tutorial. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you have not done that. Turn on your notification bell for more videos. Till next time, I will see you again. For now, it is bye bye.